Hey guys, it's KillerNox. I want to welcome you to a new segment I've started entitled Let's Analyze. In this segment, I'll be analyzing popular LP'ers by looking at how they go about setting up and recording their LPs. I'll be focusing on one LP'er per episode, just so I don't feel rushed. At any rate, the categories I'll be looking at are as follows: commentary, gameplay, recording, and editing. I just want to state that I will not be covering less popular LP'ers in this series, simply because I already have LP Weekly for that, so don't request to be featured if you're lesser known. The entire purpose of this segment isn't to tell you what you already know, but to further examine popular LP'ers in an attempt to bridge the gap between what they know and what newer LP'ers don't know. Do understand that I'm not asking you to mimic them. You should still develop your own style. Anyway, for this episode, we will be analyzing NintendoCapriSun. First, we'll touch on commentary. NCS is one of the few LP'ers that can really deliver in terms of meaningful commentary. He prefers to discuss personal matters and relate to how certain games made him feel when he initially played them, obviously bringing out the same response in his viewers, allowing for a great connection to be made.
I just mentioned these two things in a list of a whole bunch of stuff that I was complaining about at work. And wouldn't you know it, the day I posted that blog, I come back in there, and it's been like a month and a half since I posted the blog. And not once have I had to deal with any of these things since I posted the blog about it. And I'm glad I haven't, but at the same time, I'm thinking, well, you know, you expect me not to think that you're watching my crap online, or, you know, when you magically, conveniently stop doing the little things. I mean, I could be more specific, but I don't know. Anyway, my story was that back when this game first came out, we were living in Jacksonville, Florida, and God, I sound awful. And we couldn't find this game in any stores anywhere, so the only way I was able to play it was by renting it, right? So sometimes we would go to the rental store and pick the game up, and I'd play it over the weekend or something. Well, one time we were out there, I think this had to be like my second or third time out. I'd already played the game before, and I was just going out to rent it again for a weekend. And they had one copy at the store when we got there. And, well, it just so happens that another kid shows up at the store with his parents at the same time as we did, but I was there first by just a little bit. So they gave me the choice whether or not to take the game and play it, or to let the other kid have it and me rent something else. So here my dad was sitting here talking to me, like, showing, you know, recommending other games, like, hey, they got Ice Climber, that's a pretty cool game, and yeah, Ice Climber is an awesome game. In fact, I see more characters from Ice Climber in Brawl than I do this game. But anyway, I'm surprised Little Mac's not in Brawl. Anyway. Well, I stand there for like a minute, no doubt torturing this poor kid, just, you know, mulling over whether or not I should, you know, play Mike Tyson, you know, rent Mike Tyson's Punch-Out again for the second or third time so I can play it again, or to let him have it. So, you know, after about a minute of deciding, all of a sudden, I just point my finger up at the shelf and I say, I'll take Tyson.
He has also been known to sing in some of his videos, whether it be on the spot or planned prior to recording. It still adds to the comedic value.
Get the toilet scrub brush, use some woolite to get it out, pour some bleach when you're finished to eliminate odors. You don't want your bathroom smelling like piss and shit mixed together, because when it happens like that, no one will want to come over to your house and visit you, because the stench of poop is so very... Oh, I fell through the floor. It stunk so bad I fell through the floor. Take a dump on the toilet. Flush it when you are finished up. I know that I just said that, but it is still funny. I am almost back now, so I will have to stop singing and change my commentary back to the normal kind.
Another point to make is the fact that he is very relaxed during his recordings. Even though he is a shy individual, he uses recording as an outlet in which to overcome such anxieties. I suppose the true point to be made here is, be yourself. Second, let's look at gameplay. NCS has generally stuck to games that reference to an important time in his life. This relates to his commentary as well, considering he would discuss said event throughout the game. He has mixed plenty of older titles along with newer releases, all the while still doing so for the benefit of his fans, as well as himself. For the most part, he has stuck to titles released primarily on Nintendo consoles, though he has shifted to other platforms for Dungeons of Daggereth and Final Fantasy X.
Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start on this because I don't feel like wasting time. So, when I was a kid, this is always what I would do first. Move forward 4 times, turn left, move forward. Then pull the torch and use it. Oops. Okay, I know I probably should have pulled my sword there, but hey, whatever. So this right here is the spot. When I would play this game as a kid, I would move up to this spot, and I would stand here until all the monsters had come to me. I didn't like walking around the dungeon because at this point in the game, that can be really draining on your heart. And at least this way you got something of a good view. I mean, it's not a terrific view, but it's something.
Zanar, I says to myself, what are you thinking?
Zanar, huh?
I went running straight back home. We sat up talking about Jet all night.
Jet?
My dad and I never talked so much. Whoa. Didn't mean to reminisce, folks. Anyway,
Oh, you did.
10 years later, the Jet Memorial Cup tournament is today.
I love just listening to this
The
guy.
two teams that have won through to the finals are, of course, the Abes from A East and the Duggles from C South.
Are you sure that's not the Muggles?
He hasn't ever LP'd a game simply because it's popular. Rather, he has always played games of which he thoroughly enjoys. As far as coverage for games go, he generally covers what needs to be covered for completion's sake, especially for old school titles. This is appreciated, considering most everyone following an LP assumes it will be a 100% run. Moving on, we examine recording. NCS currently uses a Diamond multimedia capture device as far as a capture card is concerned. I'd go into more detail on it, but he has an exemplary video discussing his setup and how it works. He seems to attain great quality from this capture card, and at $50, that's a really good bargain. Now to discuss editing software. It seems that NCS manages to edit his videos with Sony Vegas, and has been known to dabble with Windows Movie Maker, both of which are reliable programs, though the former allows for a much more technical approach. Finally, we'll focus on editing. NCS doesn't really utilize any complicated editing techniques. Rather, his videos are often enough simple, but they still get the point across. His LPs are often enough carried by his knowledge of whatever game he is playing, as well as his down-to-earth commentary. In the past, he has been known to speed up certain segments to fit within time constraints, though those limitations have been done away with. That concludes the analysis of NintendoCapriSun. He has become a legend in the LP community for a variety of reasons. While many adhere to learning complex editing techniques, he relies on excellent commentary and gameplay to overshadow those. And it's definitely worked. He can definitely relate to his fanbase on such a personal level that many others can't, which definitely improves his overall commentary. I want to thank NintendoCapriSun for allowing me permission to use his footage, as well as for agreeing to take part in this segment. I hope all of you enjoyed yourselves and learned some methods in which to aid your overall LP experience. Anyway, this has been KillerNox, and as always, have a nice day and keep on gaming.